It is the Riot Podcast. This is the Monday, June 26th edition. A big night tonight. You know this, Isaiah. The Bachelorette kicks off tonight.
So back.
Back in action. And I've been looking through all of the bios of all of the contestants, the potential bachelors trying to win the heart of, who's the?
Charity.
Charity. I've got them all here. And I've picked out of like 29 guys, 25. I picked out 3 that don't seem like the worst.
Okay, let me mark them down here.
All right.
That way I can watch tonight.
Uh-huh.
And then I can tell you who's good, who's bad, who's going to make it far, who's getting cut tonight.
All right. Guy number 1. This is the one that I was least sold on out of the 3.
Okay.
Caleb A.
Caleb A.
Caleb A is a resident physician from Ann Arbor, Michigan. When he isn't on call, Caleb can be found hiking, spending time with friends, or ordering takeout as he watches a movie. And his fun fact is he describes his guilty pleasure as trash pizza.
Trash pizza.
Uh-huh.
Caleb A seems like a pretty normal guy. Not a terrible pick.
Fairly normal.
Not a bad pick.
He didn't have a fun fact that wasn't fun at all.
Yeah.
And so I will give him that. I also, another one that I think might not be the worst. Nick.
Good old Nick.
Nick is an HR executive from New Jersey. Nick is a great cook and dreams of making a meal for one of his favorite celebrities, like Keanu Reeves, Bill Burr, or Taylor Swift.
Wide range there.
That is a wide range. I like it. I like the wide range. And you know what?
Smart on his part. You know, make yourself applicable to the total masses.
Yeah, because odds are everyone watching likes at least one of those 3.
Taylor Swift, Bill Burr, or Keanu Reeves.
Taylor Swift, pretty and Keanu Reeves too, pretty almost universally cheered for. He would love to live in Shanghai is his fun fact. That's kind of somewhat unique, I guess. So I'll support Nick as well. And then my final.
This is the one you're most confident
in. I don't know. I think Nick might be my favorite.
Nick's your
based
fave.
off of bios.
All right.
But I also don't mind Chris S., who's a business owner from White Plains, New York. Chris loves sports and used to play football. He also holds 2 Guinness World Records for highest standing box jump and the highest standing backflip.
That's pretty impressive.
It's pretty impressive, right?
He has some skills.
Athletic,
I'm with it.
In good shape. His fun fact is if he could be any superhero, he would pick the Flash.
The Flash.
Flash can go back in time. So
sounds like
and stay in the current time and still be fast. So that's some pretty good powers.
The hardest thing to do is to go through these and just not make fun of everybody.
Why not?
Because I said it's the hardest thing not to do.
Just lean into it.
I mean, that's obviously what we're gonna do for these guys. I mean, if I was on here, I'd be doing the exact same thing as them. So I can't crash on them too bad. But I'm excited tonight because usually night 1, I'm gonna be able to pick out probably 3 people that I think will make it to the end.
Okay.
And right now, I mean, I already have some guys I'm looking at here just by bios and their look on people that I potentially could see making it farther.
Okay.
Do you want me to name any of them?
The ones that you think have potential?
Yeah.
Yeah. My first guess, though, I think at least 2 guys that are single dads. I feel like at least one of them has to make it pretty far, right?
They'll make it past night 1 for sure.
Yeah.
And they'll make it a thing down the road. Probably a couple weeks from now, the single dad will have to tell Charity that he's a single dad, and then she'll say, "Oh my gosh, it's no big deal at all," and then she'll be praised for it, and that'll be a storyline here in a couple months.
Yeah.
But off the rip, guys that see this, what's going to happen is I'm going to say I like these guys now, and I'm going to watch tonight. I'm going to hate them. But I think
you can't know until you actually see.
Yeah, I think 2 favorites. I'm going to pick 2.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron B.
Aaron B. Is he the football player?
He's the very first one.
He's one of the football players.
Yeah, one of the former football players.
Yeah.
Aaron B. And then the other one I like, John Henry.
John Henry.
Just based off name alone. Name value alone.
Yeah, he's not just John M. or something. John H.
Henry.
He is John Henry.
John Henry. He has two of the first names.
Now, see, I like, based off a name alone, Doughton. Doughton is 30 years old from Brooklyn, New York. I just think based off a name, I think he's got a shot.
Yeah, so we'll go over those tonight, and I'll figure out who we hate and who we love, and we'll see if any of our choices even make it past the first night.
Yeah.
The first impressions.
Can I tell you the worst one on the list? I'm pretty sure.
Give me the worst.
The worst one is Michael. Michael is 28 from Chicago, Illinois. He's a yacht captain.
Oh.
Michael enjoys hanging out with his grandfather and the rest of his family.
He's a humble guy.
That's your hobby? Is hanging out with your family? That's not a hobby.
It's not really a hobby. He sounds like a sweetheart.
Does he? Because his fun fact is he strongly believes mushrooms do not belong on pizza and won't date anyone who disagrees.
Picky guy.
That's a deal breaker for you?
Hopefully he asked
if she likes
tonight.
mushrooms.
She says, I love mushrooms on pizza. And he's like, you're out.
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
That would make it easy for her, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You'd save my rose.
The
Give it to
yacht
someone
captain.
else. Yeah.
Doesn't seem like somebody that would be very easy to date. You're always on a boat, traveling around. A yacht captain.
Think of the perks.
You do have a yacht, though.
Yeah. All right. Well, you need to watch The Bachelorette tonight. Report back to us. Coming up tomorrow on the podcast, some other stuff to be aware of. Isaiah just watched Brother Bear.
Oh, I did.
It got us thinking about the saddest scenes in Disney movies. Disney movies are for kids, and yet some reason they can get so sad. So if you got one that comes to mind, text it in or leave it in the comments. You can text it to 8772 RadioU. Tomorrow also, 2 new flavors of Mountain Dew Baja Blast. We will food fight with them.
Oh, I'm excited.
And that's the show.
We'll see you guys soon.
Catch you next time.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
The world's ugliest dog competition. It went down this weekend.
See, that seems like such a messed up thing.
You think so?
Yes.
Why
who would enter their dog into that?
I'll tell you at least one person. I'll tell you at least one dog. The winner was Scooter. Scooter's a 7-year-old Chinese crested dog. He's got backward, his hind legs are backwards. They face the wrong way.
I'm just not noticing that. It is ridiculous. He looks pretty bad.
Yeah, he's pretty ugly.
He's in pretty bad shape.
The lady who entered him is Linda Celeste Elmquist. And she considers it a great honor to have such a perfectly deserved award go to her dog.
Yeah, Scooter does not look good. He's 7 years old. He looks like he could be like 14. He looks like an old man.
He does. He looks aged for sure. So you think it's messed up? They do the world's ugliest dog?
I don't know. It's one of those things that's just like, I mean, Scooter looks like he could be cute if he didn't have all these issues.
Yeah.
If his feet were facing the wrong way. But if they didn't give him that ridiculous haircut, that isn't helping either.
I don't know if that's a haircut or they say he's bald. So that's just the hair he has.
So he only has a little bit. He has like a mohawk.
Pretty much. Whatever, if you can call that a mohawk on his head, that's just how he is naturally. That's all nature's design right there.
Yeah, he's an ugly dog. Scooter does not look good.
He's not just an ugly dog. He's the ugliest dog in the world. I'm torn on this too, because if there was an ugliest human competition,
people would be upset.
Who would be in favor of that?
People would be upset.
Who wants that? It's uncalled for. But on the other hand, what else is Scooter getting awarded for? Probably not a whole lot.
He's not.
He probably doesn't have a whole lot to be proud of in life. So you give this little guy a trophy and probably a whole bunch of treats and dog biscuits and whatnot. He's probably, that's probably good enough for him. Think about it this way. If there was a world's ugliest human competition and the reward was $50K and a bunch of Buffalo Wild Wings gift cards or something, sure, name me the world's ugliest human. What do I care? At least I have something.
At least I have something. I don't know if that's how you would feel, to be honest.
I think I probably would.
You think that's how you would feel?
It just depends on what the prize is.
I can't imagine you feeling very good after winning that.
I think if the prize is good enough, you can call me whatever you want.
See, if it's like $50K, feels good. But at the same time, you're going to be living with that for a long time.
Yeah.
You're going to run through that $50K, and then all of a sudden, you're still going to be the world's ugliest human.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm putting that on my resume or my Tinder profile or anything.
Probably
like
not.
That.
If I had to guess. But yeah, like I think about like my dog Jim. He's like ugly cute, He's like ugly, but he's also cute.
Yeah, there's no chance he would win this.
Scooter's just ugly. He's not cute.
Yeah.
No cuteness there, unfortunately.
Yeah. Those it's a tough look for old Scooter, but at least now he's got something to be proud of. Something to hang his hat on.
Yeah, something to take home with him.
The world's ugliest dog. Congratulations.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Do you think you would fly if you had no limitations on how much you could fly?
As much as I could, I guess.
You think you'd just constantly be flying?
I think I would, yeah. I think I would go somewhere probably like at least every other weekend, probably.
You don't think you'd ever get tired of it?
No.
You'd see all the places you need to see. There's just no drawbacks.
I think I would just repeat. Like I would just repeat over and over again.
I have a guy here who actually is able to fly an unlimited amount. And over the course of the last, I guess it would be 33 years, he's racked up 23 million miles flown.
That's a lot of miles.
Around the world.
That's a lot of miles.
That is a lot of miles. I don't even know how to put that in perspective of what that actually means. I don't know how many times, like circling the equator, how many times that would be. I don't even know. It's clearly a lot. You might be wondering, how could this guy do this? How does he have an unlimited pass? Well, apparently in 1990, United Airlines offered a lifetime pass you could buy, and this guy bought it for $290,000.
That's a lot of money, though.
That's a lot of money.
It's a ton of money.
To have that. You have to have that cash in hand, or is there a payment plan? Because if there's a payment plan, then it just feels like you're just paying for every flight you take.
As you go.
Yeah. But he paid, this guy's name is Tom Stuker. He's from New Jersey. He paid $290,000 back in 1990 for an unlimited pass, and he's been using it ever since. He says there was one instance where he went 12 consecutive days without sleeping in an actual bed because he was on a plane for like a long flight, 12 days in a row.
You have to think that, I know this sounds like it was a lot of money at the time, right?
Yeah.
$290K. But I feel like having unlimited flying, which is like a cheat code, like there's some job where I feel like you'd be able to make that back. There's some way, right? Whether you're taking things places, like I don't know what you would have to do, but I feel like there's a job where you could make that money
where
back.
it would be beneficial to have that.
Where you can say, I could fly anywhere, anytime, wherever I want, as much as I want.
Yeah.
And that could make you valuable to some company and be able to make money off
If not, just become an influencer.
Or something.
Because that's worth documenting if you could just fly everywhere. And you're not talking about the other perks, which he still gets to rack up rewards miles, which means that he can sell, trade, or auction those, as well as use them towards hotels, meals, and trips with cruises as well.
That's true.
He bought this thing in 1990, and now he can use it to do whatever he wants, pretty much. He's living the dream. I'll tell you what, you want to know what he does? Because he does have a job.
What's his job?
He is a car dealer consultant.
Car dealer consultant.
Yeah.
Wow.
Worldwide, probably.
Must be. Yeah, he's traveling the whole world.
Uh-huh. He's consultant from Bangkok to Petaluma and everywhere in between. He's doing it all. What? I mean, I guess if you've got the $290,000, you have to imagine that's more expensive nowadays.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't even offer this. They don't even offer this now.
Because they know they'd be losing money on it.
Yeah. There's no way they offer this now. Unlimited. There's unlimited nothing now. That's not even an option for anything.
Not on a you pay once and that's it basis.
No way.
I'm actually surprised they still honor this. It feels like sometime in the last 33 years they would have cut him off and say, unfortunately, we no longer. I know it said lifetime pass.
And I know you paid $300,000.
Yeah. But
it'd be crazy
you're going to have to go ahead and die because you're not flying anymore.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Had a wild time. I talked about this on Friday that I had one plan set in stone for the weekend. And that was see the band Smash Mouth live in concert?
Your all-time number one.
Well, let's not say that, but
the band of all bands, Smash Mouth.
Smash Mouth, if the name doesn't necessarily ring a bell, surely you've seen the movie Shrek, where Smash Mouth performs the song I'm a Believer at the end of Shrek, and then Donkey starts singing too. It's real fun. That may be what Smash Mouth is best known for. They also did the song All Star that, again, I believe that was popular in 1999.
How'd that go?
What do you mean?
Like, were people going crazy?
Oh, people were crazy. Yeah, crazy for it.
I can imagine it was pretty highlight of the nighttime.
Yeah, so you want a review of my free Smash Mouth concert experience?
I want the whole breakdown.
You might wonder what the crowd was like for a band that hasn't been popular for about 25 years. It was a wide mix, I would say. A wide mix. You had parents there that were clearly like remembered Smash Mouth, right? From back in their heyday. You had high schoolers that I feel like were just excited to have anything going on. And so they were there. They probably didn't know who Smash Mouth was, maybe only from Shrek, but they were into it as well.
Yep.
And you had some older folks who I would say were probably just they go to every free festival. And so they were like, oh,
so they were there too.
They were also there. So, and like the parents with the kids. So, I mean, you had, I really believe that you had every age range there. And I will give them credit. I feel like everybody that I saw seemed like they were having a real good time. Now, that might have been because there was also a lot of liquor on hand. That might have aided the situation for Smash Mouth a little bit. I'll tell you one thing. I felt a little lied to.
How'd you feel lied to?
I felt a little misled because, and I guess this is bound to happen, I should have expected this. Maybe this is on me. But Smash Mouth, what do they have? 4 or 5 guys in the band? Only one of them was actually in the band when they like did the song for Shrek and stuff.
Wait, what?
And it's not the singer.
So brand new guys.
Yeah.
Did they actually sing? Or were they lip syncing?
No, yeah, they sung the songs. They performed the songs.
Did they sound different?
Yeah, they performed the songs, which I can assume are actual Smash Mouth songs. But since I don't know many of them, maybe they're new Smash Mouth songs. I don't know. But I mean, they performed. They had a good time.
They sound good.
As good as Smash Mouth does. I'll tell you, the singer that was replaced, the other singer was equally not as good, but
got it.
He was fine. Another question you might be asking, was anyone dressed up as Shrek? The answer was yes, I was. I was dressed up as Shrek.
Oh, it was you?
Yeah.
No, you were not.
No, there were people there dressed up as Shrek, though.
Like legit dressed up? Painted bodies or what?
No, it wasn't that serious, but they looked like Shrek. You could tell who they were, tell what they were going for.
Was it like a wild scene? I'm trying to imagine what the atmosphere was like there.
It's just people having a good time.
What were you doing?
Just enjoying. I stood up. I stood the whole time.
Were you headbanging or what? Where were you at? Were you in the very front?
Headbang to Smash Mouth. You like groove a little bit. I don't know.
People were.
You bebop a little bit.
You bebop around.
That's what people were doing.
They were bebopping around.
Yeah.
That seems fair.
I give them credit. You know what? I don't know how bad I was expecting it to be, but it was not as bad as I was expecting it to be. Smash Mouth had a good time. Didn't take it too seriously. And so did everybody in the crowd.
Highlight of the summer so far? Seeing Smash Mouth, top 5?
Top 5, sure. We'll give him that.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
And of course, you've heard of cheating when it comes to a relationship. But have you heard of micro cheating?
Like a little baby bit.
Yeah.
Just like a little wee baby bit.
There's some things that are full-on cheating and some things that are micro cheating. And so this is kind of a debate that's been circling around. Really, I feel like some of these, as long as relationships have existed, the question has been, is this really cheating? Is it micro cheating? Is it not cheating at all? Some might say. And now some of these are circling around the debate on TikTok as well. You want me to throw out a few options and you tell me if they're micro cheating, full on cheating, or maybe
not cheating at all?
Yeah. How about
let's do it?
I think this is a good one to start with. Liking posts of people on social media, like just let's say it's somebody that could potentially be another love interest.
It's not cheating, but you're still going to get in trouble.
You're going to get in trouble. Is it micro cheating? Does that sounds like micro cheating to me?
Giving attention to someone else?
Not enough to end the relationship necessarily, but a bad sign potentially, and something that you could get in trouble for.
I think as long as the photo that they posted isn't like something crazy, like a bikini pic or something like that.
That's full on cheating?
No, that's micro cheating.
That's micro.
I think if it's a picture of just like her with her friends, then that's not cheating at all.
You're just being supportive?
Just liking a photo.
Have a good time.
It's a good photo.
What, am I not supposed to like that she's having a good time?
She's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
She's out with her friends having fun.
You could just not like it, though.
You could not like it.
You could just internally think about liking it and
Yes.
then not like it. It's probably
But at the same time, that's
safer call.
Yeah, I'm not saying what I would do, or what you should do. But if you ask me, do I think it's cheating? I would say no.
If you had to lay down the law,
I say no.
If you had to set it in stone, you say it's not cheating.
I say nay.
It's not even micro cheating.
I'm not even micro cheating, unless yet again. But there's also that line there. If it's like yet again like a bikini pic or a scandalous photo,
okay,
then that could be micro cheating.
What if it's like form-fitting clothes?
Whoa, now we can't be getting like that close.
Is that a gray area?
Gray area.
A gym pic?
I mean, you're gonna get in trouble no matter what the photo is. Yes, but when we're talking about micro cheating or not cheating at all, I say nay.
What if? Okay, here's another one. What about like confiding in your ex?
Like talking to him?
Talking to him at all, but especially like telling them something, not necessarily about your relationship, just about like, yeah, I've really had a tough time with something.
You can't be doing that.
Is that full on cheating? Is that full emotional cheating?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think that's for sure micro cheating if you're talking to them about stuff. Because if you're talking to them about stuff, then why can't you just talk to your significant other of now about whatever your issue is?
I mean, I can see scenarios.
Maybe like a wild one.
Yeah.
Where you convince yourself.
You definitely don't want to be talking to your ex about your current relationship.
That's crazy talk. You can't be doing that.
That is something. But I can see if you still have a good relationship with your ex, it could still be, that's still fraught with danger.
A lot of danger there.
Yeah. What about like inside jokes with somebody that could be, like that's kind of
like a gal friend?
Yeah, that basically falls under that could be under the umbrella of flirting. Is that micro cheating or not cheating at all?
I think if she's your friend, she's your girlfriend, and you guys just are just a jokey jokes, it seems like you're flirting, you're probably not, then I would say nay, not cheating at all.
Now,
your girlfriend's still going to hate it. She's going to hate it.
Yeah. Here's one last thing. Do you think maybe what defines what is micro cheating or not cheating at all is your reaction if somebody questions you on it?
Oh, it could be, yeah.
If you get real defensive, does that show perhaps that you are micro cheating?
I agree, yes. Your girlfriend, yet again, should be mad either way.
Yeah.
But she, depending on how you react to it, could even be more mad.
What's the tactic? You
just laugh it off.
You just say,
no big deal.
You apologize?
I'm sorry about that. I didn't even realize that you thought that's what was going on. It's not.
Yeah, but I'll stop.
But I will stop doing it if it makes you feel uncomfortable.
Because I want you to be happy and
Precisely, yes.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
This story starts off fairly standard. On June 5th, a Tulsa gas station clerk called the Tulsa Police Department in Tulsa, Oklahoma, to report that a masked man had walked into the gas station and pulled out a firearm, threatened to shoot him if he didn't give him all the money in the register. The gas station clerk says he complied, gave him all the money, and this robber fled the scene. Sounds pretty standard, right? That happens in almost every town, almost every day.
Yep.
But there's more to the story. Of course, there was surveillance footage from this gas station. Once police reviewed that, they were able to identify the robber. The robber, name is Steven. They caught up to him a few days later. And when they caught him, he said, "It wasn't my idea to rob the gas station. I wasn't the criminal mastermind behind this thing." What he said, in fact, is that the robbery was orchestrated by a woman named Aaliyah. Aaliyah was a friend of not just the robber in this scenario, but also the gas station clerk. And she had asked the robber to rob the gas station because the clerk, whose name was Isaiah,
Oh, no.
was feeling tired and wanted to leave early.
So it was an inside job.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to get out of there.
He just was done. And he thought, if I get robbed, I could probably leave, right?
Yeah.
Which I do feel like is questionable. I don't know exactly how it works. I feel like usually you have to stay until the police show up, and then they make you give a statement and all this stuff.
You close? Is that what happens? You close that day?
You probably close. Well, you got no money to give back as change.
I guess so.
So that would, at least at that time. So, yeah, I mean, I guess they close, but yeah. So now they're all in some legal jeopardy here because clearly each and every one of them did something criminal here.
So it sounds like the guy who was the clerk,
Yeah.
like, could he get charged for the robbery?
Let me see exactly.
He has to be able to, right?
Let me see exactly what he gets charged with. He is currently charged with embezzlement and conspiracy to commit a felony. The guy who actually robbed the bank, or the gas station, is charged with conspiracy to commit embezzlement and possession of a firearm. And meanwhile, the middle woman, who kind of orchestrated the whole thing, also was picked up on an outstanding warrant as well. And she's been charged with, I lost it, but she's been charged with something else as well.
But you think Stephen Jones is the one that actually, like, did the robbing?
Yeah.
You think he would at least kept quiet? Seemed like he ratted everybody out so quickly.
Mutually assured destruction. He's going down either way after they caught up with him.
He's just sending everybody else down with him.
Yeah, why would he not?
What a crappy robber for him.
Maybe they might have even gotten him off a little easier because he gave them information on other criminals, especially someone who had an outstanding warrant already.
But don't you think, like if we did a crime together and the police started razzing you about what's going on, you just rat me out right off the rip?
Yeah, I'd sing like a canary.
Oh my gosh. You so would.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And that's why we'll never rob a place together.
That is the reason. Let me ask
exactly
you this.
Why.
What's and I think people should text in on this too at 8772 RadioU. What's the wildest thing you've ever done to get out of work or school?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. Off the top of my head.
Think about it.
Have I ever done anything good? I think you get to school more.
Yeah.
I've never gotten out of work. I think it's a lot harder to get out of work.
It is harder.
Unless you're sick, that's not the only way.
Because at school, you get out one day, then you get in trouble. You still have to keep going back.
Exactly.
Work, you get out one day, you might never get to go back.
That's true.
8772 RadioU, the craziest thing you've ever done to get out of work or school.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow at RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Question is, what is the craziest thing you've ever done to get out of work or school? We've got a guy in Tulsa. The reason this came up is a guy faked a robbery or talked somebody in, really. It was a real robbery, but he talked somebody in to robbing the gas station he worked at so that he would get to go home early.
Just quit your job at that point, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you want it so bad that you're going to have your buddy rob the place while you're working just so you can get out of the shift, you should just quit. Just quit your job if you don't like it that much.
Or just phone it in, just sleep. The reason was the guy was tired. Just fall asleep right there.
Or just call in sick or something.
Yeah.
Seems like too much work to get out of like a random Tuesday.
Yeah. If you're bringing a gun into the equation.
Yeah, exactly.
A firearm, you should just quit. So some of the good texts we're getting. Alex said that once he stayed home, he just never went into work watching Avatar, like the TV show.
Mm-hmm. Good show.
Yeah, just kept watching it. And eventually, of course, work called him and was like, hey, where are you? And he's like, I'm just watching Avatar. Didn't get fired.
I'm just sitting at home watching TV.
Yeah. Don't you know? I thought everybody this is Avatar Day. So
We're all staying home.
That was Alex. We also have Phil, who said that he worked in a kitchen, cut himself shaving, called in with that excuse, and they said, are you serious? He said, yes, it's an open wound. You
don't want him bleeding all over the food.
No.
That's a fair excuse, actually.
They gave him 3 days paid time off, though.
3 days?
Yeah.
I guess they want it to heal, you know?
Yeah, you got to wait for that thing to scab up.
He was shaving, though? Like his face?
Yeah.
I If it was like his hand, that would be a little bit more apt for 3 days.
No, I've worked in food service. If you cut your finger, then you get a finger condom and you're safe.
If you hit your face.
Yeah, at your face, it could bleed anywhere, I guess.
You just drip it everywhere.
If it just reopens.
I guess so.
Yeah. So
that doesn't make me feel very good about the fast food thing. I've never heard of a little finger condom thing.
Yeah. They're usually blue so that they clearly could not be mixed up. They fall into, like, slide off and fall into the food.
Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah. But it wouldn't do that. It wouldn't do that because it's, you know.
You ever cut yourself at work and have to wear one of those?
Yeah.
Oh, and then you still made food?
I used to do.
So gross.
That's usually happened when I was on dishes because, you know, sharp
dishes,
knives, sharp stuff in there. You cut your finger or
you weren't putting the sandwiches together.
A plate or a bowl broke, and then you'd cut yourself on it, but you can't just stop washing dishes. So
that's fair. Dishes are fine.
Put on a Band-Aid, grab a finger condom, you're good to go.
If you're one of the ones cooking up the food, you better switch to dish duty then. You're not cooking up food anymore.
Yeah. And then Jenna said she called off work because she claimed to have an emergency with her cat and had to go to the vet all day. You know what happened next?
What?
The very next day, her cat got sick.
Oh, no. So you had to double down the same excuse.
It ate cake frosting.
And then the next day you'd be like, actually,
I want more details from Jenna because I want to know, like, did you just admit that the day prior, or
no,
was
you
like,
can never admit.
The cat's even sicker now?
You gotta just double down.
Yeah.
I need another day. Sprinkles is doing even worse.
Yeah.
He's really falling off. We thought he was doing better. He's doing worse.
Jenna just texted in, how did you know the name of my cat?
Oh, Sprinkles. Cupcake's just feeling even worse.
8772 Radio U.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
Tough times for valets these days because it's not so easy to just take the really nice car out for a joyride like it used to be. Right?
You used to just be able to take him around?
That was one of the perks of being a valet, I thought. One, you probably get tipped pretty nicely.
Yes.
And then if somebody pulls up in a car that you would never normally be able to buy, you could just take it for a little spin. You could even pick up one of your friends along the way.
That's not how that works.
Show them what it's like. Impress them. This is what it's like to be in a Ferrari, you could say, to a friend or a significant other or a love interest, a potential significant other. But now, thanks to dash cams, really impossible, isn't it?
Oh, it's impossible. Now thanks to cameras in general, I think.
Yeah, as one valet is painfully finding out in the UK, a valet that worked at the Bristol airport, he was in charge of valeting a BMW for somebody who was going away on a trip to Greece. And then this guy, while he was away in Greece, saw the dash cam footage of his car being driven around, and he's like, well, what gives? I left that thing in Bristol. How is that driving around? Because the valet was out having a good time with it.
No way. Taking it out for the weekend stroll, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm watching the video now. He's just cruising it around though. He didn't take it anywhere.
He didn't do anything dangerous with it?
Well, I mean, he's speeding around.
But that's not what you're meant to do with it though. You're supposed to go park it and leave it there until the rightful owner returns.
I just think for this guy, if you're willing to start the car back up again and drive it around, you at least should get a little bit more out of it than just driving around the parking lot.
Yeah, you might as well do something fun with it, right?
Like go on a date or something. Don't just drive around the parking lot because now you're in trouble and you gain nothing. Yeah, if you already drove the car once, you parked it.
And how
much more different could it be to just spin it around a couple times?
It's a BMW too.
Yeah.
I mean, BMWs are nice, but you see them all the time.
It's like you're driving a Lamborghini.
Yeah. There's some BMWs that are pretty high end, but I don't think if you can't go to somebody after the fact and be like, you'll never believe this. I got to drive a BMW.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. Nobody's going to be impressed by that. It's pretty, we know people that have BMWs.
Yeah.
It's not that impressive. Some people drive it, it's their everyday car. If you're going to joyride as a valet, you better get your money's worth.
Can you imagine him giggling while driving that thing too? Like just having to know when he's being bad and then just and still getting in trouble.
He thought he was going to get away with it. He thought he was a hot dog right there.
That's the best part is he thought he was going to get away with it and he still didn't.
Yeah, tough looks for that guy. So
Yeah, it's bad decisions there.
Bristol Airport probably has a job opening now in the UK.
What's the worst thing that happens to him, though? Was he fired?
Probably fired, yeah. I mean,
That's it?
can they, fine? They can't fine you.
No.
Why?
He can't get in trouble anything more than just getting fired.
He'll never work as a valet again.
He'll never valet again.
Yeah.
Crushing blow for this guy.
You think if he just turned off the dash cam, he might have gotten away with it, too.
He would have gotten away with it, for sure. So now you know every time that you valet your car, if your car's even slightly cool, they might be driving it around.
Yeah, that's possible.
The good thing for us, Hudson, is they aren't picking ours.
I can't even afford a valet, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's not something I personally have to worry about.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Nintendo just recently had an investor, a shareholder meeting. They had one individual who paid about $3,500 to invest in Nintendo for the sole purpose not to, get a return on their investment, or the return on their investment they wanted was being able to ask the president of Nintendo a question. And they wanted to ask it so bad they paid $3,500 to do it. The question was, hey, Mr. Furukawa, why has Nintendo seemingly abandoned the F-Zero franchise? No further questions.
That's all he had?
He paid $3,500 to be in a meeting to ask that. When it's all said and done.
There's no way that he gave an answer that guy was like, that was worth it.
That could have been satisfactory, right?
Yeah.
So here's what I want to know. I don't know anything about F-Zero. I mean, I've heard of the game, but I have no strong feelings. If this guy clearly does, he loves F-Zero, it seems. So I'm sorry that Nintendo seems to have abandoned it. But what I do want to know is what's something that I don't want to make somebody have to pay $3,500 to get their complaint out. I want you to just be able to air it out right now for free on the radio. And so, Isaiah, you want to start? You got any good, meaningless, stupid complaints you'd like to make? You'd like to air out?
Things that I don't like, that I don't talk about because, yet again, they're so stupid.
Yeah, you just would feel dumb just out of the blue talking about it. But now you have a venue for it.
I would say when people walk in front of me slower than I'm walking.
Ooh.
And they don't move to the side. If you don't treat the sidewalk similar to how you treat the road. Like when we're on the highway, if I was riding you, you'd get over. If I'm riding you on the sidewalk and you don't get over, clearly I have somewhere that I'm trying to hastily walk to.
You don't have rear view mirrors when you're walking.
Yeah, but you can sense. You can sense when somebody's up on you.
Yeah.
Like when I'm breathing down your neck, you know that I'm there. Don't act like you don't know I'm there.
When you're walking on a sidewalk or you're walking somewhere public, is the traffic rules the same where you have to stay you always stay to the right?
You should. Well, I just need a lane.
Yeah.
I'll pass on either side. Same thing I do on the road. I'll pass either way. I'm allowed to pass on the left. I'll pass you on the right. But you just got to give me a lane to get through.
I find that sometimes people can mess up this, if it's a crowded situation, like when I was out at the festival this weekend, seeing Smash Mouth, that people can really mess things up by going against the flow. Like if you're trying to walk forward, but you're on the left, and everybody, you don't want to do that.
Or if you're walking, you
can't make another lane.
You also know that if you're walking with someone who's a slow walker, like if you're walking with your grandmother, and you know your grandma's walking slow, right? And there's people piling up behind you, you should be the one. Don't worry about your grandma walking slow. She doesn't know she's moving slow. But you know that she's moving slow, so why don't you just go ahead and get behind her? You get
in the slow lane.
Just hop in with her. You guys can just get in the line, and you just let people pass you then. But if you're blocking the lane too,
don't walk abreast if you're walking with somebody slow.
So that's my main complaint as of right now.
8772 RadioU. If you just got a trivial complaint you'd like to air out, I've got another one from myself, so I'll just save that for next. And anybody else, 8772 RadioU, chime in. Complain about whatever you want. No judgment.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
What's something trivial, easy for me to say, you would like to complain about right now? You can text anything, your stupidest complaint, to 8772 RadioU. The reason this came up is because one guy in Japan actually paid about $3,500 to be a part of an investor meeting for Nintendo just so he could ask, why aren't you paying attention to the F-Zero franchise? Put some effort into that. That was his complaint. That was it. and he paid $3,500 to get that out. I don't think you should need to pay $3,500 to get your complaints out. Let's do it right here, right now. Isaiah, you don't like people that walk slow, basically?
No. You can walk slow. Just know that you're a slow walker and just get out of the way.
Just allow faster walkers to pass.
If I'm breathing down your neck, just get out of the way.
Regina agrees with you, and she hates when people don't read.
Oh, just don't read books?
That's no. Like there's signs clearly posted, and people ignore them.
Got it.
People refuse to pay attention. Can't you read the sign? That kind of thing.
Fair enough.
Jeff says, I can tell this just through this text that this is something that beats on Jeff's mind every day. Motorcyclists that zip in and out of traffic and then tell us that we need to keep an eye out for them in traffic to not hit them.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a real give and take with the motorcyclists, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Although I feel like they are kind of two different people. But you know what I mean? Like
there's the crazy ones and the other ones.
Yeah, right. But nevertheless, I understand where you're coming from, Jeff. How about this one from Caitlin? She just really hates feet. She just had to get that out there.
Got it. I'm with it. A lot of people hate feet.
Yeah, actually, I'm not a big fan of feet, actually.
I like feet.
I tend to think...
How do you like that?
You like...
I like my feet. I like my feet rubbed.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm for that.
Well, Caitlin's not doing it.
Fair enough.
Neither am I. And I think keep your feet... I just don't want people to keep their feet in socks. Keep your feet in shoes. Nobody wants to see. Sometimes seeing feet in socks is worse than seeing feet out of socks.
Yeah, if that's fair.
So I'm not a flip-flop guy. I'm not I hate sandals. I hate sandals. I'm with you.
So you agree?
I am with you. I think I hate seeing people in sandals more than I hate seeing feet outside of sandals.
Oh, really? So you're just not a big sandal guy?
Yeah. Here's mine. Maybe mine's not trivial enough. I hate if you try to like do a chat with customer service somewhere, and they'll take like 5 minutes to answer you in any message, right? But then if you take 30 seconds to go do something, oftentimes something they told you to do, hey, go try doing this. And you take 30 seconds and they'll be like, are you still with me? I'm still happy to help you. But if your issue has been resolved or you're no longer with me, I can move on to other people or whatever.
Oh, when they rush you.
Like, give me a second. Give me, please, a moment or two to do something you asked me to do.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Them not giving you the time of day, I got it.
That's what's been grinding my gears lately. I wanted to get that out.
That's fair. That's fair. So you probably feel better now.
I do feel better.
I would say the only other ones I thought of, I have two more. This is me complaining about other people complaining. You ready for this?
Oh, yeah, let's hear this.
Me complaining about other people complaining about the toilet seat.
What do you mean? Like leaving it up or down?
Leaving it up or down.
Dirty?
As in just up or down. I get if I pee on it and I leave that on the seat, that's messed up.
Yeah, that's gross.
But if I leave the seat up, like, is that really that difficult? Or if you leave the seat down and I'm going to go pee, I'll just lift it up. That's okay. Not a big deal for me. And so that one, I feel like we all should be pretty accustomed to that. Last one, everyone should be complaining about this one, bicyclists.
Why?
That's just a whole thing.
I did see 2 bicyclists taking up the entire lane of a road.
Oh, if you're just on the road.
Yeah.
If you're on the road as a bicyclist.
I thought it was share the road, and it was 2 of them, and somehow they had the entire road blocked off.
Like,
just dozens of cars behind them.
I drive to work at like 5 a.m. And there's people biking even then.
Yeah.
And at that time, I'm just like,
prime
come
bike
on.
time.
I'm like, I'm in the lane behind you. There's other cars. Now I'm like going 10 miles per hour. I can't. That's like one of the big ones. I can't stand that one.
Can I do one more?
One more.
Text? This is a great text. This is very specific from Sean, who says, anytime I'm cooking at home, my dad will come up behind me, get real close and go, what you making?
Oh, it's the best.
Sorry, Sean.
What you got going on there?
I hope your dad hears this, I guess.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot, RadioU.
And we're going to need a judgment on this one, a verdict. You can text into 8772 RadioU. Here's the situation. I've got a janitor who's at the center of a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. What happened was he unintentionally destroyed over $1 million worth of scientific research that took decades to accumulate.
Sounds pretty serious.
Sounds pretty serious, right? Now, the question is he at fault? Should he have to be held liable for what happened? Because here's the thing. This is in Troy, Michigan. It was super cold storage, like a freezer, like a freezer though. And the freezer was beeping over and over again. That'd be annoying, right?
Yeah.
Especially while you're trying to do your job. He's trying to clean, this janitor, trying to clean up the area, and just incessant beeping from the freezer. So what does he do? Turns off the freezer.
Ooh.
That stops the beeping. But it also makes the temperature of the freezer rise from negative 112 degrees Fahrenheit up to negative 25 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a big jump.
Huge jump.
That's like 90 degrees warmer.
Yeah, it's a big jump.
Yeah. And so because he went ahead and did that wound up destroying all kinds of samples, stem cells, and cultures, and whatever. I don't know what they have in there. A bunch of research stuff that had taken years to accumulate, develop, grow, whatever. I don't know, whatever they were doing with it. So he is now being sued by the company that was in charge of that freezer for destroying all that. First impressions. Should he get in trouble?
I think he should.
I think it's
his fault.
But
it
was an accident though.
But it was on purpose though.
He intentionally turned it off.
Yeah, he did.
He accidentally destroyed the stuff.
Yeah, but he
could have happened to anybody.
What do you mean it could happen to anybody? Nobody else would have touched that.
Yeah, if it was beeping.
What do you mean if it was beeping?
If I just kept beeping over and over again, you try to stop me.
No, that is not how that would go.
It is how it would go.
If it is not your job, you don't touch. But if there was a random person sitting next to me and all my equipment in front of me was beeping and they started touching the stuff that I'm touching and it messed up the whole show.
But what if no one was around?
That's their fault.
If no one's around and it's beeping, you have to assume, well, that shouldn't be. Something is wrong.
No, that's not how it works.
I think that's how it works.
If it's not your job, you don't touch it. If some random person was cleaning RadioU this weekend and the board was beeping and there was one light on and they turned it off, and then we were off air all weekend, whose fault would that be? That'd be their fault.
It's their fault, but it was an accident.
It's not an accident
because they didn't know.
They touched something they weren't supposed to touch.
If they said to me, yeah, but it was beeping, I'd go, oh, I understand, is what I would say.
You would say, oh, no, that makes sense. That's why you touch something that you're not hired to touch. I get it.
Yeah.
No, that's not how it works. I don't walk into your house and just start touching your things. It's not my house.
But it is his house. He's the janitor. He's supposed to be there.
But that's not his job, though.
It doesn't help the case that there was a sign.
That there was.
A sign that said,
shocker. This is supposed to beep.
This freezer is beeping as it is under repair. Please do not move or unplug it. No cleaning required in the area. Couldn't have been more clear. You can press the alarm/test mute button for 5 to 10 seconds if you would like to mute the sound.
I can't believe you turned it off. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is he a freezer?
We just talked about
freezer?
This. Regina just said, big complaint. People who don't read. This guy is victim number one, or I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Criminal number one when it comes to that. Read the sign.
It's for sure on him.
If it wasn't for the sign, I'd let him off the hook, but you got to look at the sign.
Even if it's not for this, like if it's not your job, just don't touch it. It might be beeping, it might be annoying. It's a freezer. You unplugged a freezer. That's a crazy thing to unplug. It obviously has one job, stay cold. You just took away the one job that it has.
Yeah.
Therefore, losing your own.
Yeah, he's now on the hook for a multi-million-dollar. So
that's tough.
Rough. So your verdict is guilty.
I would say he's
liable.
I hate it costing people money, but goodness gracious, that was pretty silly.
You just heard the worst of the worst. We'd give you the best of the best, but we'd have to find that. As soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.